Hi everyone! So this is a very exciting video. It's my first sketchbook tour ever. I've been drawing since I was very young, but like I'm sure plenty of artists can attest to, it's really hard to finish a sketchbook. This sketchbook isn't even finished. There's a few pages left, but I wanted to show kind of my 2020 artwork. I'm going to be doing like a reaction video sort of thing, trying these like Mia jelly gouache sets for the first time. I don't really know if this is even the right one. I mean, I got it from the right thing, but it doesn't say that on the front. So I either got scammed or I'm just dumb and can't identify that. So probably both, but anyways. But yeah, I'm also going to be doing a giveaway of this exact set. So that'll be in my next video, so make sure you subscribe to see that. And yeah, so I got this book last year during the Christmas time, so it's been pretty much exactly a year since I've had it. And at school, I do not do a lot of artwork, but since quarantine happened, I've been doing a lot more. So there's going to be some ups and downs in this, and I've gone back and forth to fill out pages, but you know what? Let's just get into it. I'm going to try and be positive about my artwork, but that's not really easy for a lot of artists. So let's get started. So we're starting off kind of badly. I wanted to do a bullet journal at the beginning of the year, so I mapped out all the different days and things that I'm going to do, or I was going to do, but I got through January and immediately gave up on that, so that's ADHD, but whatever. So some of these are kind of fun, and I used these alcohol markers. They're the kind of standard ones that everyone uses, but I had never used them before, so it was a little alarming. And yes, you can see that's on this page too. So that's kind of pretty much all I used this for at the beginning, since I was unfamiliar with these materials and I wanted to kind of get to know them better. And this was also done with those markers. This was the first artwork I did with the markers, and you know, I did what I could. They're a lot harder than I expected to work with. I'm happy with myself in that sense. So this is from either last December or early January. There's this other channel here on YouTube that I saw did this. I think his name is Andrew, but he used an envelope to like cover up part of a peek through, like the ink bleeding through. I thought that was so creative, so I just did this random doodle with like an RV. I thought it was kind of cool. It's obviously nothing like super advanced, but it was really fun to do while I was watching like TV. So. And then over here, I actually really like these sketches. They're based off of a photograph and a drawing from the artist he goes by the name Captain Tom, and he is such a big inspiration for me. I think he has the coolest artwork ever. And this is based off of a black and white photograph he took that I kind of added colors to. And then this was based off of a drawing he did because I wanted to get familiar with like watercolor and ink combinations, and I do a lot more of these later on. This was a blank page that I had, and I ended up going back through later in the year to add this. And then these are just, you know, not every artist is gonna have a perfect full color beautiful page on every single sketchbook page, and this is definitely an example of that. I did this on an airplane because I was bored, but I was also insecure about people sitting next to me looking at my art, so I didn't really do anything that would take a lot of time, which I've definitely grown from here. I don't really care what people think when they look at my art. And then this was, I was trying some like kind of like creepy designs. I actually really like this little thing. I think it was part of this like Ukrainian church or something. I'm not really sure. But yeah, the rest of it is just chicken scratch kind of, but yeah. So on the right is when I did. This one's from pretty recently. But I tried to do I had this dream and I tried to paint it in oil, but I wasn't super familiar with oil at this point, and also it's kind of hard to use oil on mixed media paper because it gets absorbed really quickly. And the reason I like oil so much is because they're so easy to blend over a longer period of time. And also it's really hard to paint from your imagination, I realized. So I'm probably not going to go back and fix this or anything, but I'm going to repaint it with my newly acquired skills. So this is probably, I painted this at school So it was probably like February or something. But yeah, this is from much more recently. Actually, I painted this on New Year's, so this is like, or New Year's Eve. So this is my last painting of 2020, and it has. I kind of left the page blank because it had all these smudges from the oil, but I ended up wanting to use these watercolor markers, and at first I hated it, like aggressively, thought it was disgusting and horrible, and then I actually don't mind it too much. I think it looks pretty cool. So. This is just something I did to pass the time because there were these oil stains that came through the paper from this oil painting, and I just did little bubbles. It's just fun. Sometimes it's fun to just do kind of stupid things in your sketchbooks. But yeah, and on this side is just sketches that I did from this book by Chuck Jones, I think. I guess he's like the guy who did all the comics of like Bugs Bunny and stuff, but he used this really cool like watercolors, and you can see all his sketch lines, and I really appreciated that for like practicing, so I used it, and I don't know, it's kind of fun. So yeah. These are just more sketches. These are random birds. It's a long story, and I uploaded it to my computer so I could color it digitally, so this is why they're kind of flat, but these are just doodles. I drew this because my little brother likes Puss in Boots, and he found like this vintage picture of it. So this is a dog. This is also a dog. I don't know. It's really not that deep. So next is more doodles on this side. I tried doing a painting based off of something I found on Pinterest. I wish I knew who the artist had been, but I wanted to use mixing gouache and watercolor, and it's just a doodle. So, and then over here is just, again, random sketches I did. So on this page, it was inspired by an artist named Guans_art on Instagram. I'm trying to get used to using gouache paint, so I've been, I practiced with this. It was at night, and I kind of like how it looks stormy, and I did it on a dark green background. This whole thing was on a dark green background, so I wanted to practice that. Up here is just a watercolor sketch of a garden. It was just for practice, and it's good to challenge myself because I have a lot of trouble with watercolors. Over here was originally something I had sketched out with calligraphy pens, and I just did it as a doodle, and it was fine. If I can find a picture of it, I'll insert it here, but after I was done with this, I didn't really like, for some reason, I didn't like how this side was completely colored in, and this side was just like the girl with like a few colors. So I took some watercolors and started making the ink bleed and kind of building up more colors, and I think it looks super, super cool. It's based off of a painting. The artist name is on the screen, and I kind of love it. I think it looks so cool how the colors like bleed into each other. So yeah, there's this weird thing that happens to me where like I'll do a sketch and I'll really hate it until the last second. So this isn't my favorite because I didn't finish it, but I have been practicing sketching more because I stopped doing that since I started painting a lot. So this one is just a gouache and watercolor, and it's kind of fun. It was out of my comfort zone because it's not, I really like realism, as you can probably see in some of my other videos, but I wanted to do something kind of fun and spunky. So this is based off of Inspiratique on Instagram and kind of their style, and yeah, so I did some more things like this. This is another one. I actually like this one a lot. It's based off of a photograph, and the clouds and everything are very different than what I'm used to. But yeah, I like it a lot. It's interesting. And then this is kind of confusing. On this page is some sketches I did, and I like them. They're fun. There's like a little teapot. It's from this sketchbook, practice sketchbook, because like I said, I wanted to practice more sketching, so I came back to this blank page. Normally when I paint watercolor, I leave the other side blank, which you'll see later, but I decided to do this. Anyways, this is another watercolor gouache mix. I like it. I painted this while I was watching the show Roswell, New Mexico, so that was kind of the inspiration for it. This is one I do not like at all. Sorry. I just don't like this. I think if this wasn't here, it's like based off of Washington, D.C., and if this wasn't here, or it looked better because I just don't really like cartoon looking things, or I'm just not used to it. But I really think the clouds are interesting. They're not, again, it's not my style, so it's kind of hard getting used to it, but I do like the kind of dotty look of everything. And this is, again, from that, inspired by that same Instagram account, Inspiratique. This one is not just me painting in what was more my style with watercolors and gouache. I wanted to turn a realistic picture. This is a place in Croatia. It's this island with a monastery on it, and I think it's kind of cool. The perspective is a little warped, but I really like the colors, and I think it's kind of fun and mysterious. So yeah. This one is based off of a photograph I took, and I like it a lot. It's nothing too deep. I didn't do too much with it, just some watercolor and yeah, some oil paint got smudged, or actually some gouache got smudged on this and the other page, but that's okay. I wanted to paint more architectural things. I don't know why, but this one looks really rounded to me, so I need to practice those more, and I practice them a little bit more later in the book, but yeah, that's something for 2021, I guess. Oh my gosh, yeah, I'm really not a fan of this picture. I promise this is the only one that I'm going to like belittle, but I think it's super bad because I painted it from my imagination, and it's really hard to paint people from your imagination in a style that you're not familiar with. This is a castle in Romania. I like it a lot because it was just like a watercolor sketch. This is more of the buildings that I was practicing. I was trying to be looser with my artwork, which didn't end up working out because this is not very loose, but again, working on it this year. These are two more just random sketches. This is just, I was kind of inspired by Audubon, and I wanted to do something like kind of wildlife sketchbook or wildlife book-ish. And then this is just something I did to fill up a page. It's the Corpse Bride, and I wanted to practice with only watercolors. And I like it. I painted it in the dark, so I wasn't really sure how it would come out, but I actually think the colors turned out pretty cool. Yeah, I'm happy with that. This is another one inspired by Guan's art. I kept wanting to practice like putting the opaque layers of gouache on top of the dark layers, but I think I didn't let this dry long enough, and also my gouache is like 3 years old, and it's the lowest quality you can get, so it's not really working too well anymore, which is why I got this new paint set. This is Los Angeles. I did it for a friend, and I think it's fun. It's nothing too complicated, but it was kind of hard to do. I didn't like it for the first like big portion, which like I said is kind of standard in the art world, I feel like, but I really like it now. I like the palm trees. I think they're kind of fun and whimsical, so yeah. And then this is upside down. Well, I guess I'll flip the camera so it's right side up. But yeah, this is Malibu, and I really like it. It's in watercolor. And yeah, I wanted to practice based off of photographs and kind of see what my style at the time was like. This was during the summer, so June and July, I believe. And here are some ducks. This was my first time trying to paint wildlife, like realistically with watercolors. And I was pretty disappointed with this at first because when I first sketched it out, I loved the sketch, and like I said before, sketching wasn't really my strong suit, so I was really proud of the sketch, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do like light watercolors or whatever, but I ended up using gouache instead, and it freaked me out a little bit, but I'm starting to appreciate what it has taught me, and that's my positive take on it. I wish it looked a little different, but practice is the only way to get better at things that you don't like. These are just kind of some random sketches with watercolor. They took like a very short time. I wanted to practice like gradient sunsets with watercolors or with like less opaque colors, and then this is a study for a painting that I did. I was just sketching it out because it came from my imagination again, so I wanted to map it out on paper first before putting it on the canvas. These are random doodles. These are more of the sketches of that other thing, so I just wanted to fill up the rest of this page with just random things, and I kind of like them. Again, it's not really my style or anything I'm used to. I think this style has always been really cool to me, but I've never really tried it, so I kind of tried to combine like modern stuff with like Sheila hands. Interesting, for sure. And this is more of that stuff. I was really in a rut. I wasn't really inspired, so I was just doing random things. This is the comic book outline, so as you can see, I was not using the sketchbook for sketching anymore. I was kind of just bored, and this is Jeff Goldblum. And then I started kind of getting more interested. This is the point where I discovered Captain Tom, so then I went back to that beginning page and sketched there. But this was based off of a plant in my house, and I love this picture. It's so different from what I'm used to, and I think it turned out really, really cool looking. And then this is me trying to use acrylics and realizing how difficult they are to blend. It's a little strange, but I think it looks cool. But yeah, I really love this, and this is blank because I had this on the other side. But I like this one too. This is from outside my window in the fall, and I thought it was really beautiful. Again, like very loose, and I liked it a lot. And then I started to get kind of in my head about these kinds of sketches. So this one was a little bit different. It wasn't as loose. It was pretty constricted, and I think I was getting a little confused because on this next one, I like this. I do like this a lot, and I like the other one a lot. On this next one though, I did not like it. I was confused as to why it looked so bad in my opinion. Yeah, so I kind of steered away from this style, and also I wanted to kind of find my own thing. So, but I do like the colors on this. Again, you have to step out of your comfort zone and see what works for you. This I actually filmed. It's based off of a outline of a face from the artist Alphonse Mucha. Yeah, I wanted to turn it into a realistic face, and yeah, it's this was the second oil portrait that I had ever done. And it was also the only one that I had ever done from kind of my imagination. So there was no shading or anything on his. And I think for considering like that, I think it turned out really cool. It's a very interesting photo. It's not super realistic, but yeah, this one ended up being okay. This one I also did on my channel. It's a sketch of a place in China. I think it's called Guangdong. It's like 7-Star Crags Mountain or something. I really like it. I think it's cool. Again, it's kind of not my style or what I'm used to. I was looking at like pictures of anime clouds and trying to imitate them because I know that those are super popular. I really like how it looks, but I've never tried to do it myself. I think it looks really cool. This one, I don't know what I was doing. It was like really late and I was watching a TV show and I just sketched. So we're not gonna linger on this. These are just more random sketches that I did while I was doing other things. This is watercolor and pencil, and it was a drawing of my hand as I was drawing. So yeah, kind of weird, but this was something I did sitting in bed watching like White Collar or something. I needed to like distract my mind, and I hadn't done a pencil portrait since I was in high school, and I'm a senior in college now. So I figured I'd try it, and it got smudged, but it's not terrible, honestly. I think it's actually kind of cool considering it's been a while since I've tried it out, and I only had my hand and a mechanical pencil. So this collection of pages I actually love. I think they're super strange and interesting. This is an oil eye that I was trying to do here, but then I remembered that the mixed media paper didn't work very well with oil straight on the paper, so I was having trouble blending. So I finished it with watercolor after it dried, and then I did the rest of these in watercolor, and I really like them. I like all the colors. I think it's super strange, and it was a refreshing break in my book. This I did with watercolor and gouache, and then this I also did. I like this one a lot. I think it looks very cool. It's based off of a photograph from Pinterest, and then this is also based off of a photograph from Pinterest of figs. I think figs might be the hardest fruit to draw because this is just not realistic at all. It looks like a turtle or something. I don't know. I still think it's fun. I think it's a nice break to like the kind of mundane like sketches that I did for the rest of my book. So this page is cut out from a different sketchbook I did because they were going to get like ruined or something. This one already did get a little ruined, or actually this is from this, so maybe it wasn't the best placement, but that's okay. I tried colored pencils for the first time with these because I didn't realize that colored pencils could be used like in layers to actually make them look fluid and well blended. So this was quite the epiphany for me. This was the first one I did, so I was kind of getting used to it, having a little trouble. This is the second one, and then this is the third one. As you can see, the best blended one. I also picked peonies, which are my favorite flower, but they're really hard to draw, so I'm not really sure why that was my my flower of choice, but I do like these a lot. I think they're very pretty. And then these are just wildlife sketchbook, what am I trying to say? Textbook sketches that I like a lot. I think they look really cool. And I did a little bit of colored pencil on this magnolia flower. These are kind of hard to see pencil, but I really like academic look that they have. So I think that's really fun. So yeah, I just cut them and put them in here because I realized that was allowed. And these were my last sketches of some of my last sketches of 2020. This is a mood board I actually have the video, I'll put it in the cards. And then this is acrylic. This is my next try using acrylic. The last time I used it was like on paper, was that like colorful hand in the beginning. I like this a lot. I'm trying to get used to like drawing trees and stuff. So the bottom of this is a little crusty, but I really like the house. I think it looks really cool and mysterious in the mountains and everything. So I was really happy to kind of add this as a finishing touch. And I do have one more page, but it's 2021. I guess I'll just show it anyways. It's nothing very exciting. It's just sketches. These are based on Egon Schiele, and these are some eyes. So, like I said, I wanted to sketch more in 2021, and I have been. And this looked really, really cool until it smudged everywhere, and I put the tissue in too late. So that's an RIP from my part, but yeah, so I have a few pages left. I'll probably just fill them with regular sketches. In terms of this actual sketchbook, I'll give a little review. This is the Canson Mixed Media XL 7x10 inch with 60 pages. It says acrylic, watercolor, pen, and pencil, which is good. I think that this is actually a really good notebook for the price. I'm pretty sure it's really cheap. However, it can only withstand so much layering certain media. So like here you can see, actually I'll take you in some of the peeling that's happening here. I don't know if you can see it very well, but yeah, so that happens if you are too vigorous with the water, but if you put down a layer, let it dry, and return to it, then it's great. Like I said, the oil seeps through, but it's avoidable. It didn't actually bleed through, and it ended up working out pretty well. It was a little harder to blend than on a regular canvas or on an acrylic prime sheet, but yes. So yeah, that's my sketchbook. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Please comment down below if you have a sketchbook tour on your channel or on your Instagram, and also comment your Instagram so I can go check out your art. Yeah, make sure you subscribe if you want to be notified about the giveaway of these Himi Mia gouache jelly palettes. Sorry if that's completely butchering it, but I'm also going to be doing a reaction in my next video to these. A reaction like I'm a commentary channel? No. First impressions and a giveaway. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I cannot wait to see what 2021 brings. Bye.